Hey everybody, Mike Chisek here for ChampCar, presented by RVA Graphics and Wraps. And with me today I have Max Beach, partner at Linespace, this weekend's event sponsor, the Linespace Grand Prix. Came up here to watch the event and talk to you guys a bit. Of course, as you know, we started racing ChampCar back in 2009 as a kind of a fun play on words on the old ChampCar series. And we have grown since that time. We've added thousands of new members. We've done over 200 races since that time in 2009. And many of you asked why we changed the name, and we told you that we feel like we just kind of evolved into something of a little higher standard. We weren't really a joke. We wanted to we treat you guys seriously, we keep you safe, we keep the racing close, and we felt like we wanted a name that you guys could get behind and be proud of, that it was real racing for you guys. So along the way we end up meeting Max Beach. So Max, how did you find ChampCar years ago?
Well, I had some friends that had been racing vintage cars, and some of their friends had gotten a chance to run in the ChampCar series and brought them down to check out a race. On the way back, they literally bought a car. And
story I've heard many times.
It's a very common story from what I understand. Yeah. And I get a phone call saying, Max, you want to race? So two guys from Midwest get an opportunity to actually get behind the wheel. And so I got connected basically by the ability to be a participant.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And as you got into the behind the wheel and driving a car, what made you love ChampCar racing at the time?
Oh man, I think the first thing was actually being able to get out on a first-class track with a wide range of cars, a wide range of experience, and I was made to feel like I belonged. Mm-hmm. And went out and actually competed as an amateur.
Right. Okay. Nice tracks like today, Sonoma.
Absolutely.
Great racers like we got out there today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, not only the tracks themselves, but professional workers, the entire team really actually surprised me as how well put together it all was.
Well, I guess we're pretty good at faking that, right? So, this name change we did, what do you think, when I came to you and now that we've done this, what do you think about us going from ChampCar to ChampCar?
I think it's a very strong statement as part of an evolution. When you're talking about how the brand communicates, it doesn't come off as tongue-in-cheek anymore. It really does communicate. There is a legacy for ChampCar that some people are very fond of, but it now shows it as an endurance series, and from what I've seen, it makes people feel a little bit more proud to say what they're involved in, even though they've enjoyed it for years.
Right, right. Okay. Now, people may think, okay, so we drew up a new logo and we changed our name, but obviously it's much more involved in that. You know, how did you and your partners at Linespace help us with this transition?
So the process in getting to a pretty logo at the end involves really kind of diving in and understanding what the organization is trying to communicate, and what the characteristics of the series, who the drivers are, who you're trying to appeal to. So not only identifying the shapes and look, but what variety of colors, and also how you speak as a brand to your members, to the audience, and your own staff.
And that process was lengthy and really involved. Right from the first presentation you made, I was impressed that this isn't off the cuff.
Right.
We had all sorts of questions that had nothing to do with what we were doing, and you were drilling down based on our market and what we were looking for. So I was very impressed with the method you guys used to get to these things.
Well, we wanted to make sure that although you were going to end up with a logo and some brand assets, as we would call them, is that the process of getting there makes sure that you maintain ownership of that, that you're not just literally picking out a logo from a book and saying, oh, we like that.
Right.
This is custom developed for your brand message.
So, like that you say, we rebranded our name. We said we want to move away from ChampCar, and now we want to be ChampCar. We gave you the name we're using, and we answered some questions. But so it was pretty involved. But what else besides rebranding a company from the top down does Linespace get involved with? Oh,
that's kind of interesting. We're a pretty broad spectrum design firm. The key that connects us is the brand experience. So although not all of our clients do we end up changing their look and feel, we dive in and get to know what their look and feel is, who they're communicating to, and help them at various touch points. So things like product design, product packaging. We also help with exhibit and display, graphic design. So some of the brand extensions is what we would like to call them. So depending on where you are at as a company, we dive in and get to know who you are and what you're trying to say, and figure out how can we help you. Okay, and Linespace has been around a while, and you've worked with some pretty big companies in your time there, right? Yep. So we've been around 14 years in Los Angeles, and we've worked with, one of our big clients is University of Southern California. We've worked with Ford Motor Company with licensing projects for them. Work with quite a few behind the scenes companies, which is interesting. So it's kind of, we don't work with Intel. We work with companies that are like Intel. They're the network behind something that you may see. So we do deal a lot with electric vehicle charging. Oh wow. Yeah. Big out in this side of the country, right? Yes, very big in the West Coast. And so we have a very diverse portfolio of clients. And most of our clients are through relationships and are repeat clients. Over the last 14 years. It's all about developing that relationship and getting to know who those clients are and start to identify where do you continue to have problems and how can we help find solutions. But hopefully we're not going to rebrand again. But in the interim, we need other marketing work. I know we're going to call Linespace for our help on that. I hope so. One serious question about today, though. Yes. Why aren't you in a car driving? Oh, man. Well, that's actually hopefully in the works. May have to ask my wife over here. But because I started out racing actually out east and doing a lot of flying back and forth. And so now identifying some of the teams out here that I may be able to connect with, and also developing a team for the West Coast, bring some of my drivers out west to race in the sunshine. And so hopefully next year I'd like to be behind the wheel competing with these guys. There you have it. So you need a veteran driver. Max Beach, Linespace, looking for a good fast car to drive in the upcoming races, all right? Well, guys, this, again, Max Beach, Linespace, this weekend's event sponsor, the Linespace Grand Prix at Sonoma Raceway. Also, the man and company responsible for our new look at ChampCar Endurance Series. So look for more of our new look, our paperwork, our polish. Hopefully it works out right in the future. And if you see Max at a racetrack and he's not driving your car, say hello, compliment him on the job. Well done, they did. All right, guys, we'll see you guys at the track next time. Bye.